Hello viewers, it's Super GT here. Welcome back at long last to iRacing. Oh yes, it's been far too long since I've been playing this and I am very pleased to be back. And off the line we go. We are racing the Mazda MX-5s around Lime Rock, a track we are very familiar with from our days in Forza. So the track, learning the track is not in the question here. Well, maybe it is because it is a simulation. It is a bit different to Forza. Guy goes flying off to the left hand side. I'm mid-grid here for this race. Didn't have the best qualifying, so I'm definitely going to have to fight my way through a little bit, but going to be a lot more patient than I am, let's say, in Forza, of course. So then, why have I come back to iRacing? Well, I saw my wheel setup kind of just sitting there and gathering dust, and I thought, you know, why am I paying for iRacing, a membership? Why did I pay for this wheel? I'm not even using it. I decided to do some practices, and then I thought, yeah, actually, I'm loving this. I'm going to come back and play this a bit more. So here we are then. Lime Rock. Now I've been doing this track to death because, well, it's the weekly track, so the tracks rotate essentially, and then so each week it will change. This week's track happened to be Lime Rock, so doing plenty of races around here, getting plenty of practice. As for lap times, we're looking in the first few laps while your tyres are nice and fresh. So in the race and in qualifying, you can do, or I can do, mid 58s at best. I've seen a lot faster drivers dip into the 57s, low 57s, 56s for like the world record. This guy's going to go wide, give me space, and then I'm up the inside into the final turn. So that's the kind of benchmark we're looking for, mid 58s to begin with in the race. Of course, the first lap there wasn't going to be that good because you are doing a standing start. There is a low 59. So the tyres do actually go off towards the end of the race. It's a 20 lap race, so a bit longer than I'm used to in Forza. That does give you more room for patience, and this game, I say this simulation, I shouldn't call it a game, this simulation really does lend itself towards patience and being calm. I think if you start driving too aggressively, then definitely before you know it, you will be off the track. Like this guy is, oh my god, he's just going to come back on. And then I think he just got spooked by the guy in the yellow car and just kind of just thought, I'll sacrifice myself and drive straight off and kill myself. So luckily for the yellow guy, the other guy kind of wanted to keep it clean there. You do get little X marks, so if you make contact with another car, you get 4 X's. If you go off the track, you get 1 X, and you can only have a total of 17 before you get booted out. So for those of you who wished Forza had a better system, you might want to get yourself on this, because there is a proper system in place, and it really does separate the idiots, at least after they got the 17 points it does. So then where are we in this race? We are on lap number 4. Actually, we've been making very good and steady progress. We haven't really made many outright moves against people who aren't making a mistake. Pretty much all of the overtakes so far have been against people who have crashed or who have gone wide. But then, as I said, you pretty much just have to be patient, and the opportunities will arise. I'm going to skip to the end of lap number 8, or towards the midway mark of the race, and as you can see, we're still in third place. So first and second still very close, and it looks as though second place is actually going to go for a move. Actually, no, a little bit too far back, so not quite going to go for it there, but he will be definitely in position here to try and look for something and capitalise on any mistake that the leader makes. Now I've got a gap behind of about 2.4 seconds, or precisely 2.4 seconds. Leader a little bit wide into the right-hander. That's actually what it's called. If you look at a track map, the names of the straights and the corners are highly original around here. So this is called the uphill. As you can see there, you go uphill, so you know, quite cleverly named. This is called the back straight. This is called the west bend, presumably because it's on the west end of the circuit. And this is called the downhill because you're actually going downhill. And then this, well, this is the main straight, of course. So going into the first bend, we are looking for the number 2 on the left hand side, the braking board, and there it is. That was my braking point, going down 2 gears into third, and then going back out to about midway before going back for a late apex. On the second apex, they're going to make contact up ahead. I'm going to look for the inside there, but cleverly I think the yellow guy just backed out a little bit to make sure that I couldn't quite go for a block pass, or the fact that he would have been blocked basically if he had stayed alongside. So he cleverly backed out to prevent me getting up the inside. But the race is definitely closing up now, and as you can see in the mirrors, you might be able to slightly see that there is someone behind me. So this battling has definitely lent itself to the guy in 4th, as we have been too busy fighting and worrying about each other. But still, this is going to boil up to be a very nice race, and it's just this that I love. It's really good being part of a close battle where you know the other guys are going to be respectful. He's going to actually force me very narrow, and I really don't fancy going into a braking point that narrow. I did make a couple of mistakes actually, being forced narrow into this turn and braking a tiny bit too late. I did read all of your messages from my previous video, which was quite a while back, but I did have a lot of problems with my braking and my gear shifting, and I have been working on that quite a lot. So I'm not pressing the brake 100% down now. So I'm actually getting a slightly better braking performance, not totally locking up the brakes. So yeah, improving that. I did momentarily, or quite a lot of times, lose responsiveness in my foot. Kind of, I couldn't quite get the responsiveness from the pedal, but that will come with a better setup. I'm coming downhill into the final corner. Going to go in narrow. I'm just going to get some oversteer on the curb, and we're going to head into the tyre wall, and then bang. That's how simple it is to mess up in iRacing. You make one tiny little error, and well, your life is over. And I'm in the tyre barrier. Just going to take another look here from the chase cam. Onto the curb, edge of the curb. Car just gets a little bit loose, and then bang, I've lost the wheel and lost my life. So that is how easy it is to make one little error, and it's going to cost you the race. This happened far too often in my first 9 races, just, you know, not learning from my mistakes. But now I know, if you're just on the curb in a dangerous position, just back out and let it go. If someone's going to go past you, just let them. There's no point risking it. These guys are going to go crazy, crash into each other, and then, well, I'm just going to end up in here. And Exhibit's just told me that he put a car inside my car so I can race while I race. But I can tell you that's not a very fast solution. Actually losing quite a lot of time there. And well, that guy died quite clearly. Then go past the other guy, and then I get past. So this race was not the best. Obviously involved in an incident quite early, lap 1. That opens up the gap quite a lot. So 20-minute races, longer than I'm used to in Forza. I keep saying that, but yeah, I need to adapt to the different conditions. Looking up the inside then, but he's going to block me off. So that 20 laps to try and catch up, around 20 minutes. You're doing around about a minute per lap average. So 20 minutes roughly to catch up. It does give you time, but then again, everyone's fairly even in this, so it's quite difficult to reel in a big gap. But we're up the inside of this guy, so we go back up another position. But then we're going to go to the final clip of the video. It wasn't all bad. I did actually have some flashes of brilliance in this game, and I'm going to show you one here. Qualified on pole, my first ever pole position in iRacing, and as you can see, struggling with the tyres through the first bend. Tyres still cold at this point, and just trying to break away. It's a really good opportunity. When you're in pole position, it's a really good opportunity to try and break away quickly whilst the rest of the pack is battling. So we're going to attempt to do that here. Guy behind me though is still 0.4 seconds behind, so he has actually stayed pretty much with me. I haven't really broken away at all. Going through the uphill bend in 4th gear, the car goes very light on the on the crest there, you do have to be very careful, preferably straighten up the wheel before you get there, otherwise you will be sliding into the wall on the right hand side as you correct oversteer, which you cannot correct basically, like I just had a moment ago around this corner. And then on lap number 12 I buffered, the buffer basically was 7.5 seconds, so quite big. I went in a little bit narrow and just had a massive moment. Luckily I was just about able to correct the oversteer there, but at the cost of about 5 seconds, so the gap went down to about 2.5, but I was able to hold my nerve to the end despite the guy putting some pressure on me. He got down to about 1.4 seconds in the end, or 1.4 seconds at one point, but then I opened it back up to 2.5. So then we do cross the line to win a race, and out of the 9 races I did, I won 2 of them, both from pole, so fairly good going. Once I can get in a consistent groove, preferably from the front of the grid, then I'm okay. When I'm battling, trying to do too much, then I make mistakes. But this is part of the learning curve, and I do hope that you can enjoy my journey with me through iRacing. I'm really just at the beginning stage now, but hopefully one day I can become one of the better drivers as I move up the ranks. So I do hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Do subscribe if you'd like to see more. Let me know your thoughts on iRacing as well, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. As always, goodbye.